Well, hello everyone. We are at the final phase of our journey. We are week 12 of the Artist Way. It has been a very intense journey for me. And I just want to take a second to applaud everyone who has gotten this far, including myself. Um, the basic principles I wanted to start with that this week, just as a reminder of why we did this and why we set into this journey and how, looking back on it, how far we've come. I have this in the morning, in the first page of my journal for morning pages, and I've gone through two journals now. And I always kind of go back and kind of take a peek at this. I would say weeks 4, 5, 6, and 7, not only was I sick, but then I was going through just like emotional chaos. And actually, my friend Michelle was talking to me during one of the weeks, and she was like, "Do you think, you know, it's the artist way why you're having such a hard time?" And of course, my first instinct was no, of course not. But now that I'm kind of at week 12 and I'm looking back, of course it was. The artist way was pushing a lot of buttons and making me dig the archaeology, digging below the surface to kind of figure out why I'm not happy and why I'm not content and why I'm not feeling gratitude. And challenging me to find those sparks of joy again in life. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that privilege of being able to go through that journey and reconnect. Um, this 12-week journey, I would say for me, I have struggled with the morning pages consistently, but I've also learned to really appreciate them when I do them. I've also been able to kind of keep in mind that there's a daily practice that's very important, and allowing myself some flexibility in terms of when the morning pages come. Like for me, a lot of them have been coming more in the afternoon or at night because in the morning I have two kids. And when she says treat yourself as a precious object, some of that for me was not getting mad at myself if I couldn't do the perfect morning ritual, allowing myself to just have some time during the day to sit down and write my thoughts. And that was clearing and beautiful. And I used to be a very big journal keeper. And as you know, I've done the artist way a number of times in my life. And I always fall out of it. And coming back into this journey where it's part of the practice, it's really nice to kind of get back into that routine again and settle back in to what I want to be doing and focusing on who I want to become and how I want to do that and how I want to live my life. Um, I would say that because of this 12-week journey, I signed up for a 7-week yoga class, something that I always tell myself I can't afford or I can't do. One of my careers that I'd like to be is a yogi. And live in an ashram and just kind of have that lifestyle, which I never really thought was something that I could do. And yet, here I am now in a community of yoga people finishing a class and having an amazing experience. So that was really challenging for me and also really inviting to see that that could happen. I also connected back into my theater community that I have really not been connected to over the last few years. And I'm in a small play now, and I have a callback for another play, and someone wants me to direct something. And all this is just kind of part of me reconnecting, doing a U-turn, right? That was a big part of, I don't know, what week, 10, the creative U-turns, where you think you've sabotaged something or you've lost something and you can't go back. And a lot of it's just because you're stubborn or embarrassed or, in my case, busy. And so I went to the director and I was like, I don't have a lot of time, but I'd love to be in your play. And so, she was going to give me two parts, but she only ended up giving me one. But I'm enjoying the rehearsal and I'm hanging out with theater people and kind of reconnecting with that community. So it's perfect. And so through that invitation, they asked if I ever want to direct something. I was like, yeah, I would like to. So really good conversations. I will also say that synchronicity, I got lost in the woods and ended up seeing an old friend and doing my first psychic fair in Maine. through a series of coincidences, and it was really wonderful. I did a bunch of readings. I think I have a few more clients. I think I really helped some people, which always makes me feel really good. I had a nice weekend with my friend who drove and gave me the hotel, and all I really did was pay for our food. And it was great. It was worth it. It was wonderful. And we drove a convertible, and that was kind of one of my things in a bucket list when I was like 18 that I remembered. I was like, oh, I'd always wanted to, go on a road trip in a convertible. And guess what? I did that. So this 12-week artist way for me kind of hit a lot of really good, really healing milestones and really helped me work through a lot. So I'm just so full of gratitude, and I'm so grateful for all of you that have kind of been coming online for the Zoom weekly check-ins, or watching them on the replay, or wherever you're connecting, however you're connecting to this series. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please reach out. I think that this is a community, but we all have very busy schedules. And, just because Thursdays at 8 works for me, it might not for you. And so, reach out. And it can feel lonely when you're going through a healing crisis. And, just I want to say, I was reading through one of my books, and it had the best description of a healing crisis. And it said a healing crisis is often an illness that is brought on by an event of healing, like Reiki or self-help, or massage or talk therapy, or it's like an act of wellness can sometimes trigger illness. And I think that's what happened with me during week 4, is that I was, really kind of dealing with grief, and I was dealing with stress, and that my body had been kind of in a constant fight or flight state since I had a house fire back in 2021. And my life has just kind of been very stressful. Then the house fire, and then moving from house to house to house, and figuring out when we could get home until we could get home, and then moving back in, and then dealing with all the bills from the fire, and then my mom dying. And so it was just, when this illness came, and when I was doing this artist way, it was really just like my body needed to rest, and I needed to reset my nervous system. And the best way to do that was through art. So I just feel so grateful that I had this experience, and I had this journey, and I had this book to kind of help me through that. So whatever you're going through, whatever you've gone through in this journey, if you ever, need to reach out, get a healing session. I know I reached out to a number of my friends during this journey to kind of get special healing as a way of treating myself like a precious object, which, Julia Cameron mentions often, and I'm so grateful for it. It really changed how I looked at a lot of things, being able to have boundaries, to be able to say, no, I can't pick the kids up at 3. I'm going to my yoga class. And no, I can't do anything after my yoga class, because that's when I need to unwind and take notes, and, really, really anchor it in, because if I don't, I get all, ugh. And just, learning little things about boundaries and self-care and healing and resetting the nervous system, and journaling, and letting my fears and my resentments out, and digging in terms of old dreams, and finding the root of the joy that my soul is seeking. It's such a gratitude, such a gift. So this week, the last week, was recovering a sense of faith. Julia Cameron said, in this week, we address the fact that creativity requires receptivity and profound trust, capacities we have developed through our work in this course. We set creative aims and take a special look at last-minute sabotage. We renew our commitment to use the tools. And I realized during this course, the sabotage was pretty good for me. Like, for example, I got offered to direct a play in June, which would have been the slot. And I was like, oh no, I can't do it. And I made up a lot of excuses, but mainly it was just because I didn't think I could pull it off. And they said that June was their big money maker. And my big fear was, I'm like, what if the play isn't good and it doesn't make any money and they never ask me back? So I just kiboshed it and said, oh no, I can't do it. I don't have any time. And then during the week of the creative U-turns, I reached back out to them, and I was like, I can't direct in June, but, let me know what play you end up choosing, and maybe I can audition for it. And then it turned into, well, I really can't fit your rehearsal schedule. So I can't do a big part, but then she cast me in a small part, and I'm kind of getting back into that community. So, um, My mentor told me a number of years ago that the more spiritually awake you are, or the more intelligent you are, the more creative your self-sabotage is, to the point where you do it really elegantly. You do it in a way that seems like you're following your heart, but you are not. And if I look back at all of the big milestones, the things that I really regret not doing, I had wonderful stories that I'd created as to why I self-sabotaged. For me, I got into the master's program at the Actors Studio in New York City with James Lipton, and I didn't go. And it's because I created this amazing story of to why I couldn't go. And I committed to it. And that was the self-sabotage. So I met this gentleman and I went on an audition, and he kind of was like, why would you pay all that debt for that? And you can act off Broadway and do commercial work. There's no reason to go into debt for that. And so in my mind, I was like, well, my mom's older, and this was, what, 20 years ago. My mom's older, she's sick, I really should keep myself flexible. I don't want to go into debt. And this guy, I'm going to work with him, and I'm going to become a better actor, and I'm going to do this all on my own. And I had this beautiful story and this vision board. And I felt really strongly about it. And I was like, I'm following my heart and I'm listening to my soul. But really, it was just a really elegant self-sabotage. And so I'm noticing that pattern about myself. And so, the tools that Julia Cameron has, like the artist date, has been such a good experience for me, because I've definitely taken on the martyr archetype, in terms of my family, like, oh, buy something for the kids, but I'll sacrifice this, or you do this and I'll do that, like, and I just won't, I can do something else, or just little things like that. And I was really elegant in the self-sabotage and how I was doing it. And the artist dates really allowed me to see that my family loves me, but they can't love me by reading my mind. I have to have clear boundaries, because if I don't have clear boundaries, then I get mad at them. And then it creates drama in my family, which creates stress, which means none of us are happy. And if my goal is a happy and healthy home, then I have to treat myself like a precious object. It's just this cycle. So this was a really good reminder in terms of anchoring in the boundaries of no, and the self-care, and really allowing myself to um, do the things that I want to do, instead of creating stories as to why I can't do them. Um, I have not done the morning pages every single week. Every single day, I should say. This week, especially these last 2 weeks, were kind of challenging for me, because my kids are in plays and schools, and I'm volunteering, and that morning section is really hard, but I have been kind of doing them in the afternoon. So like I said, creating a daily practice, or like if I've been feeling really like, ugh, I get to the page, and I kind of have been, doing that. The weekly artist date hasn't always been a traditional 1 hour of me time, but it's been 20 minutes. Some weeks it's been going to Planet Fitness and just getting a massage. Some weeks it's been sitting down and doodling in my Zen doodle coloring pencils. One week, I was inspired by Julia, and I played with Play-Doh. I got my kids a bunch of Play-Doh for Easter and their Easter baskets, and I just sat down and I played with that. So it was, um, I made jewelry. I really did some fun things that I haven't done in a while. I did sidewalk chart by myself. My kids weren't around. I pulled out on the sidewalk and I did this whole mural. Super fun. And it felt good. Felt good to just doodle and create, and, not scroll. Not feel bad or shame for scrolling, or, buying things online, just allowing that creativity to go, that dopamine hit to come, not from buying something or scrolling online, but from a creative practice. And I tend to be the all over everywhere artist. I'm not one thing. So this last week I did watercolor. It was part of my chakra class, and the last day, um, she basically did a guided meditation, and then we just sat in our own little corners of the studio and we painted watercolors on a chakra, like a body, that was sitting in the lotus. And it just felt so good to work on watercolor and just really zen out and then just do a couple yoga poses and really meditate. And it was amazing. Um, and then now I'm doing so many things. In the first couple weeks, an artist date, I was like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know how to do this. And now I'm doing so many things that I kind of have to choose. Well, what was my artist date? And they all were artist dates because they all connected me to me. So that was really nice. So I really experienced those in a really beautiful way. Synchronicities. So many synchronicities have popped up for me. So many synchronicities have connected me and um, kind of moved me through. And I think a lot of it with me is, kind of reiterating what I do to other people and having people kind of come up and say those things and mirroring them back to me. So I'm seeing, oh, that's there. There's that message, or, helping other people. So this week in the chapter, it was really about like trusting. It was about knowing that this journey meant something and that this is an adventure. This quote was in there and I loved it. It said, "Adventures don't begin until you get into the forest. The first step is an act of faith." And, I think what got me started about that quote is forest means for rest. That's the way I always look at it. And this 12-week journey for me has really taught me, because I'm the go, 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 go person. And even during my illness, like I was doing action plans and vision boards and creating online courses. And it was like, go, 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 go. Create the business. Don't stop. Like if you have a day off from work, then you have to be working on your business. And forest means for rest. And my vagus nerve, I've really been working on my autoimmune system and my central nervous system and the chakras and really kind of grounding my energy in and allowing myself to be in a state of rest. Oh, gosh, it's been so hard for me. But that's been the big takeaway, is that my soul needs rest, because if not, I go and I go and I go and then I crash. And as I get older, the crashes are getting harder and harder every single time. So my body is signaling to me that I really need to rest. So for me, that what that quote means is like adventures don't begin until you get into rest, until you can connect with nature and really come into a space of stillness, of resting and digesting and like responding to the world and regulated emotions and just being able to breathe. The first step is an act of faith. And so for me, like taking the chakra yoga class and doing the artist way, like that first step of acknowledging like I need to allow myself to rest. I need to treat myself like a precious object. Like that's my big takeaway during this whole experience, is really about loving myself a little bit more and being more gentle with myself. I love how she talked about mystery and imagination and like keeping your counsel, move silently among doubters, voice our plans only among allies, and to name our allies accurately. And I think that's really true because, you know, I have a couple really big ideas that have come up during this journey, and I'm like, my first instinct is to want to clear them by this person and invite this person and collaborate with that person. And this time I'm kind of like, okay, that hasn't worked for me in the past. Either that person says no, or this person takes over everything and the vision doesn't turn out the way that I wanted to, and then I get resentful and angry and the friendship is over. Or like it happens, but I get really stressed and I overdo it, and then it ends up, not working out anyway, and I implode and it doesn't even happen. So like I've been trying to kind of you know, just allow myself to let things occur naturally. Like again, this state of for rest and for blossoming and anchoring in my light a little bit more. What she said, get serious about taking ourselves lightly. And I love that quote because, you know, part of my spiritual medicine is cosmic improv. It's about taking yourself less seriously and being able to play. And it's funny because I'm like, as much as I say that and I live that, I'm also the most serious person in the world. I'm a Taurus rising, you know what I mean? Like I have my Excel spreadsheets and and that's how I look at the world. So then the Leo part of me, which is my sun sign, I'm just like, yay, let's play and have fun. But then the Taurus part of me wants to, take over and be serious, serious, serious and know the action plan. And take steps for it. And so get serious, which is my Taurus side, about taking myself lightly, which is my Leo side, and then using my Gemini moon to just play, right? um, Fears is a big one that I've learned in this whole 12-week journey. Like, oh my gosh, I have so many fears. Like most of my morning pages actually were just like talking about my fears. Like I have fears. I have fears about this. I have fears about that. I have fears about that. And then at the end, I'd be like, oh, let's just offer that up to God because I don't want any of those fears. But you know, when I would allow myself to write about it and actually think about it, the fears were just like never ending because I had so many bottled up that when I kind of let the door open, that gate open to kind of release them, I just kept writing and writing. Like one day it was like 10 pages, like I have just fears. And so write down any resistance, angers, and fears you have about going on from here. We all have them. And I think the thing for me is just that I'm going to get caught back up in the busy schedule and I'm going to get stressed again and I'm not going to take myself as a precious object anymore and I'm going to go back to the back burner and I don't want to do that. You know, this 12 weeks of me learning how to put myself and take care of myself and play and allow myself to create. I don't want to go back. That's really the core of that, the seed of its creation. So anywhere and everywhere that you're afraid of that, let's just offer that into the quantum field to be completely transmuted through all space, time, and dimensions, and just call in our guides to completely transmute that, bring that healing energy back to us in a higher vibration. So that way we can integrate it into our life until there is such a shift that it can be seen and known and felt in our real life and our real day right now. Procrastination is a big thing for me. But it's more like my procrastination is doing procrastination. So um, I realize that I've got 30 things to do and I will open up a junk drawer and organize it, which is a very productive thing to do. But it's not always in aligned with getting the things that I need to get done. Um, and the payoffs of doing that is just that I can get overwhelmed and not do them and then just keep not doing them until I've self-sabotaged and I have no choice but to not do them, which back out. So that hidden fears is for me is always about worth. Always, always, always. So just kind of reminding myself like I am worthy. I am worthy. I can do this. I am worthy. Going back to week 1, looking at those core negative beliefs and seeing all those silly little nasty critters in the writing and like all those like yucky things of like, you know, for me, it was like, can I even lead this class? You know, is this stupid of me? What am I thinking? Was anybody going to show up? Is anybody going to watch this? It doesn't matter. You know, this is in a lot of ways, this was for me as well, you know, so it's a video program of my journey through the 12 weeks. And I'm willing to share that because I'm brave enough. So I guess it doesn't matter whether you're there online or not, because I'm sharing this, because this has been part of my journey this year. And my part of my theme for this year was to be in alignment with my soul and to be helping people at the same time doing that. So I think this is a perfect expression of that. And I have made a lot of progress. I mean, I think you can probably see it if you're just watching the videos between the 12 weeks. And I'd be curious to know that if you're doing this journey, like how is your progress? Are you feeling like around 4, 5, 6? Are you feeling that kind of healing crisis? Are you kind of moving through that? Or, reach out to me. Let me know how this journey has gone for you. And so I can celebrate with you. And hopefully these videos help make you feel like you're not doing it alone, which is the hardest part really, is the accountability. So I'm hoping that the videos will help people have a place to on Sunday to sit down and watch this and know that they have support and that we're here for them. I love affirmations. For me, affirmations is my soul language. Like I love, love, love writing affirmations. I love reading affirmations. I love listening to affirmations. And the big one for me is just I'm worthy. I am worthy. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. Write some new affirmations about your continued creativity as you end the course. And so for me, those affirmations were more along the lines like I will, I believe that I'm worthy of feeling good. You know, like that was a big one that kind of, I believe that I'm worthy of feeling good. I believe that I'm worthy of being happy. Um, I'm a channel for God's creativity, and my work comes to good. My dreams come from God, and God has the power to accomplish them. As I create and listen, I will be led. Creativity is the creator's will for me. My creativity heals myself and others. Now, those were all Julia Cameron's affirmations. I just kind of copied and pasted my favorites, but you know, they're just so beautiful and they're so good to have and kind of rewrite and, you know, a lot kind of looping them into my inner thought, inner monologues over the last 12 weeks, I think has really helped me to kind of change that inner dialogue, to kind of replace the I'm not worthy with as I create and listen, I will be led, right? Like there's just a trust when you open up. Oh, I loved this exercise that she had for this week. Mend the mending, repot any pinched and languishing plants. Like it's like, and I think she's just saying like, you know, like you just got to go about your life now. Like, you know, but I did. I kind of walked around my house and I'm like, what haven't I done in the while? In a while, what do I need to do? And yeah, I did pay some attention to my plants, and I, you know, went through the costume box and kind of went through that, and um I love the select a good jar or vase and put your fears, resentment, hopes, and fears and dreams and worries into it. And when something happens, remind yourself, God's got it. It's in the jar. Forgot about that. You know, I've done this journey so many times, and this is towards the end. And so you always kind of remember the first couple weeks because, you know, you're kind of getting into the routine. It's really intense. But it's little things like that that I think make a big difference. Like just reminding yourself, like, God's got it. It's in the jar. And just, I love that. I love that feeling. I love that message. And now we need to kind of move forward. So our 12-week journey is over. So what would we like to create? So be open. What oddball paths would you dare to try? Willing. What appearances are willing to shed to pursue your dream? List 5 people you can talk to about your dreams and with whom you feel supported to dream and then plan. So I don't really have that. So, you know, maybe that's something that we can co-create. Maybe we can create a little group that meets to support each other in our dreams. But I did find a women's networking group not too far for small business entrepreneurs that I was looking into. And then I had a friend of mine reach out and ask if I wanted to be a part of her group. So I feel like the universe is manifesting that, because I really kind of put that out there. I was like, I don't really have 5 people that I can trust with my dreams, because sometimes I share my dreams and then people want to do them or collaborate on them with me. And then I've tried that so many times and it never really works. So, um, you know, like support, but not take over, or completely say like that's not going to happen. So don't even bother doing it. So I need to kind of find that balance, which is why I'm trying to go in a slower, more calmer fashion and not like just force it through. I tend to be the person who takes the square peg and forces it into the round hole. And at the end, the square peg is all like destroyed because I've just like rounded all the edges off by forcing it in. You know, that's a really good metaphor. And I'm going to try to stop doing that. I'm going to pause. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to put the square peg down, and I'm going to wait until I can find the round peg, and then I'll go for it. She says, reread this book, share it with a friend. Remember, the miracle is one artist sharing with one another. Trust yourself and trust God. And so this is me rereading the book and sharing it with friends and with the world. You know, I will leave the 12 weeks up so other people can watch it. And so share this course with your friends, share the book with your friends, you know, reach out to me. Um, just know that I'm celebrating you so much in your journey. If you'd like some, you know, one-on-one coaching, if you'd like me to support you in healing sessions or Reiki or, you know, a reading, let me know. I'm here to support you and be your co-creator and your celebration cheerleader to support you in your artistic recovery. And that's one reason why I love this course so much, because it really just brings us back to home. And the inner artist is really my passion, connecting myself with my inner artist and also reconnecting you with your inner artist. And so this is our 12 week. My gosh, we've started recovering a sense of safety and identity, power, integrity, possibility, abundance, connection, strength, compassion, self-protection, autonomy, and faith. What a journey. Just take a second to breathe that in. Just see how far we've come, how many things we've been able to touch and heal within ourselves and acknowledge. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful celebration. So we have completed the Artist Way 12-week journey, and we are on our last week. There will be no see you next week. Oh, I just noticed that. This will be our last week. So for those of you that want to reach out to connect, please, please, please do. My email is loveandlight@gmail.com. That's spelled LUVNL888 @gmail.com, or my name, paige.jl.johnson@gmail.com. I have a million emails. I could give another, but those are good to start with. Reach out, let me know how you're doing. The contacts with the website is a little bit tricky because my domain name is forwarded, and I'm still learning how to figure it out. So please email or call if you do need to reach out or want to just chat. I'd be happy to do that. And let's see, I just want to take a second real quick and just kind of going to send some love to you in this journey, recovering a sense of yourself, a sense of your artist in this journey, recovering autonomy and faith and protection, love, and allowing yourself to just feel connected and part of this journey. Like, just how exciting is it that we made it this far together today? Who would you be if you could continue the practice of morning pages? Who would you be if you could treat yourself as a precious object? Who would you be if you could give yourself an artist date every week for the rest of your life? Who would you be if you could allow yourself to be the artist that your soul desires to be? Anything and everything that is not in alignment with that, we're just going to offer that into the quantum field, to God, good operating direction, to source, to space, time. Just offer that beyond time. Just offer that into the quantum field to be completely transmuted. Just calling that breathing in and exhaling, and breathing in and exhaling, and feeling that transmuted energy coming back to us, calling in Brother Wind to bring that energy back to us, and just caress our bodies and integrate it into ourselves, so that way we can become the greatest version of who we are. How amazing does it feel to just live your life free and worthy, loved and precious? So we are calling in your guides for support to assist you in that, in every aspect of your life. And we are calling in all the support and all the opportunity, all the blessings for that. And also we are activating the upgrade. We are feeling that integrated energy with each breath in and out, moving in and integrating with every cell, every atom of our body. And we are asking our guides to continue that energy on automatic every minute, every day, every week, until there is enough of a shift that we can live authentically and aligned in our soul and aligned in our creativity with our divine blueprint, really finding the joy in life. How amazing does that feel? Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, my dear ones, it has been such a blessing. It has been such a journey. And I do know that Julia Cameron, I have her complete series. So she actually has a couple of other additional books where you can kind of keep going with the journey. I'm not committing to doing that right now, but who knows, maybe in the future. Um, I am definitely committing to being here for you, so feel free to reach out if you need anything. It would be my honor to connect in space and time. And I hope you are just all doing so well. Again, thank you so much. I wish you all the joy and all the love and all the happiness that life has to offer. Bye bye now.